Welcome to Your Family's Health, the program that focuses on healthcare issues with unique and different modalities for taking charge of your health today. Experts talk weekly with our continuing roster of guests from around the country and right here in Nassau County to keep you up to date on the latest health issues and trends. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. Spend the next half hour with the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and get on the journey to better health.
Hello and welcome to Your Family's Health. My name is Dr. Jeanine Cook-Garard, and I'm here with nursing student Virginia Gavin and also Pascal Thomas, who is completing her master's degree in nursing and education. Today, our special guest is health research expert and author of a cookbook, Spoiled Rotten on a Diet, nutritionist Marsha Allen, better known as the Sugar Witch. She is here to better educate us on sugar and how we can make it disappear in our diet and still love what we're eating. Marsha, welcome to Your Family's Health on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. How are you?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be there.
So first, I read your story online, which people can find your website, yoursugarwitch.ca. As briefly as possible, can you tell us more about yourself and your experience with sugar?
Like I said, I'm a nutritionist, and I have a lot of health issues of my own. So I gave up sugar a long time ago and gluten because it affected my health. And then I'm married to a 32-year diabetic now. And he tried all the lovely drugs, and which his disease just progressed, and I kept looking for something better. And through research and through a chiropractor in Florida, Dr. Hood, we found out that the things that affect diabetics' health is diet and exercise, and the diet should not include sugar, dairy, or gluten. So we put him on that diet with all those things out of it 4 years ago. At that time, he was on 45 milligrams of nighttime insulin, or 24-hour insulin, and 12 at noon, breakfast, and 14 at supper of daytime insulin. Plus, he was taking the maximum dose of metformin. Now, in the last 4 years, we dropped the metformin right away. He's lost 35 pounds. He now takes 35 milligrams of nighttime insulin or 24-hour insulin and takes no daytime insulin. And his goal is to get off insulin altogether, and he will reach it. He's very determined, and he will reach it. And I've had experience with a bunch of other people who are doing the same thing and having great results. And the problem with the drugs is they give us a false insecurity. They tell us, oh, yeah, just take the drugs and, you'll be fine. If you take the drugs and don't change your diet, your diabetes progresses. And then you have bigger problem with the diabetes, plus you have all the side effects of the drugs, and they have really nasty side effects. So my husband's really happy. He's living a much better life. He doesn't have any diabetic symptoms. He doesn't have neuropathy or retinopathy or any of those things. And that's the things that were progressing for him. He was getting retinopathy.
Right.
And now that has just stalled out. He doesn't have any more problems. And every time he goes back to his doctor, he just says, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing great, and just keep doing it. And when he goes in for his A1Cs and his cholesterol, they're all perfect now. Mm-hmm. And his doctor just shakes his head. Don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing a great job.
So you have a name, the Sugar Witch. Tell me about how that name came about.
I don't know. That was just a fun thing between my daughter and my husband.
Yes.
They just said, they called me the witch. So they just said, we think you should call yourself the Sugar Witch because that's what you do. You change people's lives by getting sugar out of their diet. So
you were the one who advocated most for your husband in the house in terms of making sure his diet excluded a lot of those sugars that you found you can eliminate, I guess, through meal preparation?
Yes, we do mostly our own meal preparation. We don't eat any processed food because processed food is full of sodium and sugar and lots of all other good things. So we don't eat processed food. We eat out, but we're very careful. He works every day, so he gets lots of exercise because he's in construction. He doesn't really have to do extra exercise. But what we found, gluten in wheat is very inflammatory and also causes your sugar to go up big time. And same with dairy is very inflammatory and causes, he can put cream in his coffee and put his sugar up 2 points. So when he told him he had to start drinking his coffee black, he wasn't very happy.
He wasn't happy.
But he said, I'll do it. And he saw the difference, and then he said, well, I guess I can get used to black coffee. But I use a substitute for sugar called xylitol. It's a natural sugar that's made from the bark of hardwood trees. It's an alcohol sugar. You've probably heard of it because it's very deadly for dogs because their liver does not process alcohol the way ours does. Yeah. So it doesn't cause any rise in your sugar levels. But it tastes exactly like sugar, and you can use it cooking or anywhere in your coffee, whatever, and you won't know the difference. You use the same amounts, like if you're cup for cup, if you're baking with it. So it makes life a lot easier for the diabetic.
So where do you find this xylitol?
Xylitol can be found in any health food store, and Whole Foods is another one. Walmart, a lot of Walmarts carry it. Costco, I think some of the Costco's carry it.
Do you also use stevia?
Don't use stevia. Stevia is a great product, don't get me wrong, but it has a terrible aftertaste.
Okay. So you find that xylitol is more palatable? Yes,
it doesn't have an aftertaste.
Okay.
It tastes exactly like sugar. You can take a spoonful of xylitol and put it in your mouth, and you think you got a spoonful of sugar. So it's a little coarser grain to look at, but it tastes the same.
Now that you've researched all about sugar and its negatives, what are you doing so that other people can jump on the same bandwagon as you?
I have a website, and I have a coaching program on that website, which is my www.sugarwitch.ca. My book is available on Amazon, The Spoiled Rotten on a Diet. I'm working on a second book, which is just desserts, because diabetics seem to have a very big sweet tooth. My husband never liked sweets until he became diabetic. Now he thinks there should be sweets in the house all the time.
So in your book, it highlights you teaching what to stay away from. What exactly does the book highlight?
The book is a kind of a condensed form of tells you, the foods that you need to stay away from. What the program does is I lead you step by step, tell you how to clean out your fridge, how to clean out your cupboards, what to replace it with. I give you a daily meal plan every day with all the ingredients, all the recipes. So for 6 weeks, you know exactly what you're going to eat with the shopping list, the whole bit.
For example, if you did have a tendency to eat something that was containing sugar, what is an example of a substitute that you would recommend?
Well, you can buy sugar-free products on the market. They're really hard to find, and gluten-free products are easier to find, but a lot of them are just gluten-free junk food because they're full of sugar and a lot of other stuff.
So your tendency is to go more towards the fruits, the natural fruits, and
natural fruits, vegetables, lots of protein in your eggs, your meats. We don't restrict any meats. We do restrict potato because one medium potato turns to half a cup of sugar in your stomach.
So no starches?
Well, not potato, no. There's other starches you can use that don't do that. Tapioca flour, for instance, doesn't. Coconut flour doesn't. There are carbs that you can eat that you can substitute. But, yeah, potato is not... A sweet potato, much better. Also, if you're whole wheat bread, 2 slices of whole wheat bread will raise your insulin level as much as a Snickers bar.
Okay.
And everybody thinks they're eating healthy when they eat whole wheat bread, right?
Right. It is a carb, but it's more complex.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is digested slower, which makes it lower on the glycemic index. But wheat turns to sugar. No matter how you cut it, it turns to sugar. And plus all the other good stuff we put on our wheat now and genetically modify it and spray it with Roundup and all those good things make it really detrimental to your system. Your system doesn't like it.
So you're looking at more of a holistic approach to dieting or
Yes.
to, you're talking about a change in lifestyle rather than a diet.
Yes, you definitely have to change your lifestyle. And people think that's hard, and in the beginning, it is hard.
I would imagine it is a challenge, yes,
and
at first.
That's why the 6 weeks of exact telling you what to eat with all the recipes and everything makes that simple. And after 6 weeks, you've got your cupboards full of all the right stuff and your fridge full of the right stuff. Because if you have bad things in your cupboard and in your fridge, when you say, "Oh, I'm hungry, I need something,"
You're going
and
to
you will
indulge.
grab that bag of chips, you will grab that bag of cookies. If it's not there and you have to go to the store to buy it, by the time you get home, you've forgotten about it.
So Pascal wants to ask you a question.
So
Sure.
I want to ask you, can you really break these bad habits in those 60 days?
Yes, you can. I've had people do it over and over.
To be completely non-desirous of any sugars, or at least the ones that you spell out in your book.
Yes, your brain really does it changes. It changes the way you feel when you go without sugar for 6 weeks. You will be totally don't even want it anymore.
So
and the products that you thought you loved will turn you off.
So, Marsha, when your clients sign up to this 60-day program, do they talk to you directly, or is it a blog, or how is it that they're communicating with you and keeping you up to...
They can talk to me directly.
They can.
By phone, by email, by text, whichever they desire.
So you have quite a bit of testimonials of people who have gone through the program and who have been successful with this.
Yes, I have. And also the program helps people with arthritis, because sugar causes inflammation, dairy, gluten. And again, they're pain from arthritis. My husband's arthritis has disappeared. He was due for 2 knee replacements. He went back after 2 years on the diet, and he told him he didn't have any more arthritis. He didn't need a knee replacement.
So how fast did your husband see the results with this program that you placed him on?
Within probably 3 weeks.
Wow.
Because he started losing weight right away, and he went off the metformin right away. And his sugar did not go up. Like most people, if you stop taking your metformin, your sugars go up big time, because you eat the same thing. But he stopped eating the products, he the very first day, he stopped. He said, "I'm not taking that stuff," because the doctor told me it was 50% mortality rate. He said, "I'm not taking that stuff anymore." So... But his sugars didn't go up because he wasn't eating things to raise it.
So let's take a quick break. My name is Dr. Jeanine Cook-Garard, along with nursing student Virginia Gavin and Pascal Thomas, who is completing her master's in nursing. We're from the nursing department here at Nassau Community College, and today we're talking with Sugar Witch Marsha Allen, who is a health research expert and author of the cookbook Spoiled Rotten on a Diet. You're listening to Your Family's Health on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
90.3 WHPC reminds you that most party fouls are pretty dumb. Sometimes they land you in an unfortunate nickname, a nasty bruise, or make you the star of a few embarrassing social media posts.
But the damage usually ends there. Underage drinking and driving, however, is a party foul with real consequences.
Get busted, and you could pay fines, do community service, and lose your license.
Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the Ad Council, and the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melinda Dunn with the American Academy of Family Physicians with important information on how you can prevent shingles. If you've had chicken pox, you're at risk for getting shingles, a very painful and potentially debilitating disease. Nearly 1 in 3 Americans will get shingles, and older adults are more at risk. But adults age 50 and older can get protection simply by getting the shingles vaccine. For more on immunizations, visit familydoctor.org or talk with your family physician.
We now return to Your Family's Health on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thanks for being with us today. This is Dr. Jeanine Cook-Garard, along with nursing students Virginia Gavin and Pascal, who is completing her master's degree in nursing and education. We're from the nursing department here at Nassau Community College, and today we're talking with the Sugar Witch, Marsha Allen, who is a nutritionist and a health expert and author of the book Spoiled Rotten on a Diet. So, Pascal, ask your question.
So, Marsha, can you tell us about your cookbook, Spoiled Rotten on a Diet? How did you come up with these recipes, and are all of them sugar-free?
Yes. Okay. I came up with the recipes because, like I said, the doctor said to my husband, "You have to not eat dairy, gluten, and sugar." And he looked at me and he said, "And or potato." And he said, "I'm going to starve to death." And I said, "Honey, I promise you won't starve." So I proceeded to change his diet, take all those things out of it, and he was never hungry. He never wanted anything. But he was still getting all the foods that he loved. I just took the products out that he wasn't allowed to have, and developed recipes. And while I was doing it, just experimenting. And after 6 weeks, I said to him, "Okay, do you want to keep doing this, or do you want to just quit now?" And he said, "No." He said, "I've never been hungry. I've never craved anything, and I feel spoiled rotten on a diet." And he said, "You should write a cookbook." And then the doctor said, "Yes, you should write a cookbook. I can tell my patients not to eat these things, but I have no idea how to tell them how to cook it." And I don't take out their favorite foods. I don't take out pizza. I don't take out sweets. I don't take out the fish and chips. I just use different things to make them.
So give me an example of a dessert that you would make for someone without sugar. How would you prepare a dessert?
Okay, you can have lemon pie, for instance, one of my husband's favorites. I use xylitol instead of sugar. You can still have your egg whites on the top. He doesn't really like that part. But another thing is one of his favorites is chocolate cake. And he can have chocolate cake because I don't put flour in it. I use quinoa, and it's moist. It's delicious. My daughter just had a 50th birthday party. We served it at that, and everybody said, "Oh, my God, where'd that cake come from? Where'd you buy that?" And David said, "No, that's Marsha made that." "No, that has to be a bought cake."
Wow.
And no, it takes research. It takes time. I spent 2 years working on recipes for the book, and I'm still working on recipes for my new book, which is just desserts. So you make things a lot of times before you get them right.
So when you go out to eat at a restaurant, how is it possible to dine out sugar-free?
Talk to your waiter. Be very specific.
What kinds of questions would you ask?
Ask them if they add sugar to their salad dressings. We never use salad dressings at the restaurant. We just take our own. Ask them if there's butter. They add butter to their steak because the finishing process of steaks, quite often they add butter and let it sit. Mm-hmm. Ask for the ingredients in the what you're going to order, and look at the menu and pick things that you think were just vegetables, salads. Steak and vegetables, leave out the baked potato, and then ask that person if it's gluten-free, if it's dairy-free, if it's sugar-free. If they don't know, they should be able to go to the chef and ask. And they want to make you happy because you're going to give them a tip, right?
Right.
If they don't help you, you're not as liable to tip them. So if you ask, I've never had a problem in a restaurant about asking. We just went on an Alaskan cruise for a week.
Oh, wow. How did you navigate that?
Well, we sent our specifications ahead, and then when we went to the dining room, they had our diet restrictions, and they told us what we could have on the menu.
So no you can eat ice cream for you, huh?
There was dairy-free, sugar-free ice cream also.
Okay.
Lactose-free, not dairy-free, but lactose-free, and that's the part you want to get rid of because that's the sugar, right?
You're limiting the sugar. How is it that, because I know a lot of the waiters don't know how the meals are prepared. So do you ever take the opportunity to go back and to speak with the chef? Do you directly?
I have done that.
Right, a lot of the waiters don't know.
Yeah, usually the waiter will do that for you, but if he can't, then I just ask to speak to them. And they want your business.
Are most of the people who read your book diabetics? Do you find that most of the people who want to be a part of the program are diabetic because of your testimonial with your husband?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because they're diabetics and they don't know how to fix it. People just don't know. Well, for one thing, people don't cook anymore. It's easier to order out or go out, right? I find it more so in the U.S. than in Canada even, because I live in Canada, but I spend 6 months a year in Florida, so I see a lot more of it down there. But they don't understand where the sugar, the gluten, and dairy are. They don't understand what foods contain those things. So it's an education that they have to get, and that's what my program provides. It's an education, so then they can make educated choices. And I'm not saying you have to be totally perfect. Like if you go out some night and you can't get exactly what you want, you do the best you can that night. And then next day at home, you do.
So you're really taking it one step at a time, baby steps, to really change your palate and the way you eat.
Yep, you do. You have to take it in baby steps. It's very overwhelming to try to do it all at once if you don't have somebody there that knows how to do it. Like when my husband did it, he had me, right? And I knew this stuff because I'd been a nutritionist too many years, put it that way. We're not going into those number of years. Anyway, so I knew what foods he could have. I knew how to prepare those foods. But the average person doesn't. They just look at that and they just get like he did. I'm going to starve. And it's very overwhelming. And that's why if I give you your meal plan of breakfast, dinner, supper, snacks, with a shopping list, recipes, and how to make it.
This is where the cookbook comes in. Awesome.
And the program comes in.
Yeah. You're listening to Your Family's Health on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Dr. Jeanine Cook-Garard, along with the nursing student Virginia Gavin and another nursing student, Pascal Thomas, who's completing a master's in education and nursing. And we're from the nursing department here at Nassau Community College. Today, we're talking with Sugar Witch, Martha Allen, nutritionist, who is expert research and author of the cookbook Spoiled Rotten on a Diet. So tell us, when we're talking about this cookbook and all of these great things that we want to learn in terms of getting in our sugar intake under control, how would friends want to get in touch with you? What is the best way to reach you?
I have an email, which is just usmarsha@gmail.com. Simple. Or they can go on my website, contact me there. Or my telephone number.
And your website does have, we can, contact and find out about the book. Is there any kind of blog that you have also with this that coincides with that? So people can call you.
The blog route yet.
Okay. So people can call you on a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Are you willing to give us your phone number?
902-694-2901.
Okay. So that is your website. That is your book. So was your husband an inspiration for this book? He's the one that told you to go ahead and write the book, right?
Yeah, he is. And he's, like he said, people need this stuff. And he said, you need to write a book. And I had no desire to write a book. But anyway, between him and Dr. Hood, they said, yes, you do need to write a book. We need a book.
So this is a labor of love. So this is a family project that you have undertaken to not just share with your husband, but also with others.
Yes.
Who may be going through
the same thing. And my daughter's on the program. And she's 50 now, but, she didn't watch her diet. And it's a hereditary disease, and her sugars were starting to creep, and she said, but now she's on it. She's been on it for, over a year now. She's lost a lot of weight. And she said she loves it. She said, I can't even think about going back to eating the way I did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So your husband does not at all cheat. This is not something that...
I wouldn't say he never cheats, but he rarely cheats.
And because you're the witch, you make sure that he doesn't.
Yeah, he knows I'm watching. He has another favorite name, but I won't tell you what that is.
Oh, okay. Don't tell us.
When I'm watching.
So, Marsha, this has been very, very exciting news that you were able to do this, not just for your husband, for those that are listening that may have the same challenges. Are there any parting thoughts that you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Also, I did 5 TV episodes for Crown City Network in L.A., and where we actually cook some of the recipes of the book. And you can see those on the internet if you go to crowncitynetwork.com. And you will see my husband cooking.
Wow.
So they're not real professional, but they're real, and they're real reality shows. And they're a lot of fun. So if anybody wants to watch a couple of those episodes to get an idea, they can.
And how do we watch those episodes? Where do we?
On crowncitynetwork.com.
crowncitynetwork.com. Okay. Well, thank you for being here, Marsha Allen, the Sugar Witch.
Thank you.
It has been great talking to you today. This is Dr. Jeanine Cook-Garard, along with Virginia Gavin, nursing student, and also Pascal, who is a nursing student completing her master's in nursing and education. And we're here from the Department of Nursing here at Nassau Community College. We would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of Your Family's Health.
We'd like to get your feedback on your family's health. Send your comments by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu. Podcasts of today's show are available on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. This program was produced at the studios of Nassau Community College in cooperation with the Nursing Department. Join us next week for another edition of Your Family's Health on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.